I have friends at court! Powerful friends! The king himself made me a lord!
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, for the start of a brand new series. A series that you guys have been asking for a hell of a long time. Well, a lot of you guys have. I've had this requested or suggested so many times since the channel began, and it's one that I've always wanted to do and never got around to doing until now, so I'm super excited to be playing as Lord Janos Slynt, the Lord of Harrenhal and commander of the Gold Cloaks. This should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to see all of Lord Janos' friends and powerful friends at court, and hopefully without Tyrion interfering we should be able to see the rise of House Slynt. So, before we look into Janos and his children and the land and everything that we've got, and obviously everything that's going on in the realm, let's have a look at all of those wonderful, powerful friends that Janos does have at court. Well, that's clearly some sort of oversight by the mob team, I would imagine. That surely can't be right. 0 friends? No, I'm not having that. There's something clearly wrong. So, I think we should amend that. Now that is more like it. Look at all of these lovely, powerful friends that we now have. Varys, Grand Maester Pycelle, Littlefinger, the High Septon, Joffrey, Lancel, Tommen, Cersei, the Hound, and many other members of the King's Landing Court. So let's have a look at Janos himself. 39, okay, so he's a little bit older than I... Well, then again, no, that's probably about right, isn't it? So yes, he's 39. A whopping 4 diplomacy. That makes sense, to be fair. 13 martial. I suppose he would have to have some sort of martial ability to command the Gold Cloaks. I know he's nothing special, but you'd have to have at least a respectable amount of martial, surely. 1 stewardship. Now, I think that's a little bit harsh, if I'm perfectly honest. I know that he's not exactly Littlefinger, but considering the amount of corrupt going on that he's got within the Gold Cloaks, where he's literally taking a cut of every single one of his soldiers' wages, pretty much, surely he's got some sort of know-how in stewardship to make as much wealth as he has. Intrigue, yeah, I thought intrigue would be one of his highest, and 1 learning, fair enough, but considering that intrigue is our highest, and we know what Janos is like, we will go for the intrigue focus, which improves our intrigue by 2 and gives us plot power increase of 2.5 as well, which is awesome. Let's have a look at our traits. Since we're an incompetent steward, we are a trained fighter, a knight, we're fat, gluttonous, greedy, wrath, deceitful, ambitious, arbitrary, and ruthless. I'd agree with most of those traits. Yep, to be fair, not bad. We have got some kills. 1 kill. Tomard died in the battle against the forces of Lord Janos of Harrenhal. Yeah, that's one of Eddard's household guard, isn't it? And we need an ambition. So what have we got? Build a war chest, obtain Valyrian steel, become a higher lord, which I think will be our main big ambition, our first big ambition, to try and become Lord Protector of the Riverlands. But for now, let's not become Hand of the King. I'm sure that we can just try and become a councillor, can't we? Let's try and become a member of the King's Council. We have got something in our treasury. Okay, just a random book. Does it give us anything? It gives us some monthly prestige, and it gives us 150% increase of taming a dragon, which is absolutely hilarious. Could you imagine Janos Slynt with a dragon? That is one hell of a terrifying thought. We are currently involved in many wars. We're defending against Lord Beric of the Brotherhood, defending against King Rob the Young Wolf in War of Northern Independence, defending against Lord Paramount Renly of the Stormlands, and defending against Prince Stannis of Dragonstone. Lord Janos, I declare that my brother Robert left no true-born issue of his body, the boy Joffrey, the boy Tommen, and the Gale Marcella being abominations of incest between Cersei Lannister and Sir Jaime the Kingslayer. By right of birth and blood I do lay claim to the Iron Throne. Let all true men declare their loyalty. Signed, Stannis of House Baratheon, the first of his name, King of the Andals, the Royner, and the First Men, and Lord of the 7 Kingdoms. All lies, of course. Joffrey is our king. We don't listen to filth. We're not interested in any of that. So, we have got 4 children, which is awesome. Let's have a look at our wife, Lady Elenda of Harrenhal. She's an incompetent steward, craven, wrath, stubborn, and honest. I'm pretty sure with most cases, your wife and children will just get random traits. We've got Moros Slynt, who is wow, very good martial-wise, our oldest son. Even though he is a poor fighter and a squire, he does have a whopping 21 martial, so that's decent. He's ugly, gluttonous, selfish, proud, and erudite. We have another son, Joffery Slynt, who's got one hell of an impressive beard for a 15-year-old. I'm extremely jealous. He's a squire. He's conscientious, willful, and deceitful. Looking at his traits, we could probably go with a stewardship focus for him. That would probably be best. Our third son, Janos Slynt, who is willful, fussy, and playful. It looks like, yeah, diplomacy is... his intrigue's not bad either, though. But we'll go with a diplomatic education for him. And then we have our daughter, Jane Slynt, who is indolent, conscientious, and timid. And her intrigue is massively impressive. She does have timid, doesn't she? Focus at timid and affectionate. Yeah, okay, let's go for that for now. And then our oldest son we obviously can't do anything with. We do need to find some matches for our children. Now that we're a High Lord, we can try marrying into some other High Lords and prosperous houses around the realms. We will try and do that. Oh, we have got a message from our good King Joffery. Dear friend, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I would like to give you a seat on my council and therefore offer you the title of advisor. I would be very happy to accept that, my king. Thank you so much. Right, so let's have a look. We are going to need to find some marriages for our children before we have a look into our court and such. So, Moros Slynt. What have we got for you? We want someone high ranking. We don't really want any one of these. Let's go into find characters instead. So, we want you to be our religion, and it don't have to be our culture because we're King's Lander. They can be any culture. Married, of course, no. Adult, well, then again, you're 17, so they don't have to be an adult, technically. Gender, female. Highest ranking, we've got Ermesan, Lady of Hayford. That's the one that Tyrek Lannister's meant to marry, isn't it? Which could get us a bit of land. Let's have a look at, could we actually arrange a betrothal between you and our youngest son? Yeah, I didn't think you'd go for it without it being a matrimonial. We've got Alar, the Justifier of the Antlers, a Bookwell, we've got Langwood. Let's have a look at age then, actually, and look at some of these younger ones that we've got. We've got the Stokeworths. That could be quite funny to try and inherit that land. We've got a Brune. We've got Cersei Lannister. We've got Lolis Stokeworth, which could work. She's you wouldn't really want to inherit that imbecile tree, but I was just thinking of a way to inherit some land, a way of making some land. It's not really a huge amount. How old is our son again? He was 17, wasn't he? Moros Slynt. If we can get a decent match for him, considering he is our heir, someone from a noble house, just to try and cement ourselves as a powerful lord a little bit more. There's not a great deal around from noble houses, to be honest. We have got Pia, Courtier. Oh yeah, she's the whore, isn't she, of Harrenhal. A Manning. We've got Bookwell. There's not a great amount of options around, is there? Are we searching all? I don't know if we are. You know, I think that's only searching within our realm, within the Crown lands, isn't it? So this is better. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. We've now got a lot more. Okay, so we've got Miranda Royce. That might not be a bad action. She's got the strong trait. Miranda Royce could be a very decent option. Very powerful house. We've got some Brackens as well, which could also be a very good house if we're going to try and take over the Riverlands. Marrying into some Riverland houses would not be a bad idea, actually, to be honest. That could be a very good idea. So we've got two there that could be good. Two that could be very good. A Frey could always be good. Get House Frey on side, very powerful. Likely to switch sides as well, which is good. Is this Fat Walder? Yeah. Oh no, Walder the Fair. Courtier in the crossing. Got another Bracken there, Best Bracken. They have that attractive trait as well, which is very useful. Could be very useful. There's a hell of a lot around the Dondarrion. Another Frey. A Frey with the attractive trait as well, which could be good if we can inherit that. Considering that poor Morris has the ugly trait. A Vance. Lance could be good. A Lannister of Lannisterport. Another Frey. There's a lot of options. A Butterwell, which might not be a bad one because they're very close by. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for one of the Brackens. So let's have a look back at House Bracken. Lord Janos of Southstone. Let's have a look. So he has his youngest daughter, Alysanne Bracken, who is fair. Very decent martial. Can we arrange a marriage between her and our son? Nah, we are at war with them though, aren't we? So that's... yeah, he's not going to go for that. So do you know what? Let's go for Miranda Royce instead and try and get that strong trait then. Where was Miranda Royce? She was about 20, wasn't she? So we'll go with her as a match. That's a very good match if we can get House Royce on side. That's not a bad match at all. Then again, is Miranda Royce actually of the main Royce branch? I'm not sure. His daughters, we've got Ryla Royce, Alyssa Royce, and Ysilla Royce, the youngest, who is strong. Yeah, let's go for her. Let's arrange a marriage between her and Morris Slynt, our son and heir. Perfect. Right, so now we need a match for our second son, Joffery Slynt. There is a random Lannister here, but she's a little bit old. Our son is only 15 after all. Gonna have to be someone... A Frey. A Frey would have been a good option. We've got Walder the Fair. Can we go with Walder the Fair? I don't know if it will allow it, to be honest. Just... oh no, it will. Let's go with Walder the Fair then. Why not? And then we're going to need a match for our third and final son, who's 13. Let's have a look at some of these younger matches then that we can go for him. If we can get someone of high birth. There's a Tarle. A Tarly might not be a bad option. Daenerys. We could go for Daenerys, but yeah, we're not going to do that because that could... yeah, it's not very realistic, is it? There's another Frey, but we've got the relationship with the Freys. There is the Samantha Tarle. I might go for the Tarle. That might not be a bad option. Oh, a Rykar. Rykar might not be bad. We can try and get Duskendale. A Tyrell. Tyrell of Reach. A Mooten. Another Royce. Joy Lannister. That she is a bastard, isn't she? That's Tywin's bastard niece, isn't it? Let's go with Samantha Tarle. Let's arrange a betrothal between Samantha Tarle and Janos Slynt. And that's a no anyway, so that's fine. We'll have to look for someone a little bit better then. We've got a Malister, but Malisters are fairly loyal, aren't they, to the Stark, so that wouldn't make sense really to me. We do have the Rykar, Melinda Rykar of Duskendale. Is she of the direct line? Yes, she is. So let's see if we can arrange a betrothal between her and our son Janos. No, not willing. Not willing. What about a Massey, but they're under Stannis? The Tyrell girl, Alla Tyrell. Arrange a betrothal between her and our son. No, again. Not in. Do you know what? Should we go for Joy Hill, the Lannister? Let's see if we can get anything there. Yes, why not? Let's keep Tywin on side, keep him happy. We know that he will look after Joy Hill. So there we go. And then we have our daughter, Jane Slynt, who we now, of course, need a husband for. We could leave her unmarried for a little bit longer, but let's see if we can get an alliance. It would be nice to get an alliance with her. If we can get an alliance with a lord who's unmarried, and that would be awesome. It would be good to get a High Lord, someone that will be able to help us in the wars to come, someone of decent birth. There's several about, isn't there? So one of them would be good. Could we go for like someone like Edric Dane? Might not be too bad an option. I think I just seen a Crate Call as well there. Desmond is just a courtier, and Crate Call is not of the mainland. Commander of Wayfarer's Rest. Seaworth, yeah, I don't think we're going to go for that, to be honest. There is a random Tyrell here. He's a Maester, so that's no good. What about... It seems really harsh and really bad. What about Lord Rosby? Oh, he's widowed. I'm going to say we could have gone for Lord Rosby, which would have been really funny, just as a way to try and inherit some lands. What about Tommen? Doesn't seem. What about Tommen? Could go for Tommen. We are a High Lord now, why not? Prince Tommen of the... Oh, what about Edric He's under the influence of Renly, though, who's obviously not going to say yes whilst we are at war. Let's go for Tommen. Joffrey's obviously going to be marrying to Sansa in this timeline, as Marjorie is still technically married to... and yes, Joffrey will go for that. That's perfect. Right. Taking a bit of setting up, but let's sort our council out. We don't really have anyone that good, so we are going to want to try and find some characters. So let's now refresh the thing. Let's look within our realm. Let's look for some decent characters that we can find within the Seven Kingdoms that we might be able to invite to our court to get ourselves some decent martial characters. There may be someone that we can invite, some lower... Okay, so we've got Lincoln. We can invite Lincoln. That makes no sense, to be honest, but that is pretty cool that we can invite Lincoln. Let's do it. Why not? Let's invite Lincoln to court. So that would give us a new commander and a decent marshal. I could see maybe... Would he swap over size? We've got a Rolly Duckfield, so we're not going to go for him. We will have Aegon in Vader. Orain Waters. Let's invite him to court as well. That's two decent... Oh, we've got a giant. That's two decent commanders looking for some glory. We've got a Crate Call here. Tybalt Courtier. Heir to the High Lordship of Crate Call. He's not the best fighter, though, is he? Let's have a look if we've got a decent diplomat that we could maybe invite. Try and fill our court up with some decent courtiers. We've got Varys, but yeah, we're not going to invite Varys along. Is there anyone else? Littlefinger. There's bound to be a decent courtier somewhere that we can get in, just so that we have some decent people to fill our slots up. Then again, looking at it, there's not a great amount around, is there, to be fair? By the looks of it, just randomers. I'd like to get someone of noble birth, a second or third son or something, someone looking for their own way in life. An Ice Riverman. Garish Drinkwater. A Riverlander or something would be cool. Doesn't look like there's many diplomats around, to be honest. What about a steward? Is there any decent stewards about looking for a place somewhere? A Swan! Clifford Swan, who is a very decent steward. Let's invite him, why not? That'll give us a steward. We need intrigue. We can actually invite Varys, which is hilarious, but yeah, we're not going to do that. He's the Master of Whispers for the King, of course. Qyburn, Lord Treasurer of the Brave Companions. Qyburn seems like the exact sort of man that would work under Janos Slynt. Yeah, I could see that working. Learning. I don't think there's going to be anyone that we could invite, to be honest. Pycelle, we can actually invite the Grand Maester, which makes no sense. We'll send for our own Maester, to be honest, so we'll send for our own. Let's have a look. Right, so we are going to need to send... Oh, no, apparently we've got a Maester, so let's have a look. Apparently we already have one in our court. Torfmuir, who's actually really good. Wow, 21 learning. We've got a random Septon. If we can just get you to perform charity in Harrenhal for now. Our treasurer will get to collect taxes. We're going to be replacing you soon anyway. We do want to try and fabricate some claims on the lands around us. So let's try and get a claim on Butterwell. And you just oversee the realm for now. We'll sort all the stuff out once we get kicked in. So let's unpause. Right, so the Riverland are calling their hosts up. Lord Janos of Harrenhal fulfilled the ambition to become a councillor. All hail his grace, Joffrey of the House Lannister, the first of his name, King of the Andals and the Rhoynar, and the first men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm. Long live the King. Which means we do now need a new ambition, which will be to become a higher lord. We want to become a Lord Paramount. The Lord Paramount of the Riverlands would be nice. What have we got plot-wise? Is there anything that we could actually try and plot? Plot to see our wife dead, which seems a bit harsh. And try and free Rorschach Biter. I don't think we'll do that. We can fabricate a claim on the Seven Kingdoms. I don't think we'll do that for now. Let's see if there's any factions we can start. Independence, Edric for the throne, dispose of King Joffery, Crown Loyalists. So we'll go with... Let's just go with Crown Loyalists for now. Suck up a little bit more whilst we wait for our chances. If Joffrey wins, hopefully he would be willing to grant us Lord Protector of the Riverlands. The Riverlands are calling up their men, so let's call up ours. We've got 3,500, and we've also got an army in King's Landing, the Gold Cloaks that we command. So let's get our men together in Butterwell. We need someone decent to lead this. Let's get our son to lead it in the centre. We won't be leading the army. Janos is not the sort of person to lead an army, is he? Let's be honest. We've not really got anyone else of any decent... We've got an unyielding leader. I suppose he could be decent. And then we've got a direct leader here. We'll just have to use those pretty poor commanders that we've got for now. That's fine. We will look into our better commanders once we get some of our new courtiers to join our court. To the raffish rogue Janos, may you live in harmony and contentment. Please support me by voting with me in the council. If you agree to do this, I will henceforth owe you a favour. Accepting. Yes, I will accept. And your wisdom and mercy and leisure, I've decided to accept the suggestion of a betrothal between Jane and Prince Tommen. Perfect. At least we're getting a favour. We want to try and gain some of those favours up. And blessing when you in your house, I accept your suggestion of Morris and Ysilla getting married. So we've got our Royce bride, which is perfect. Can we form an alliance? No, we can't, but we will send you a gift, Lord Jon Bronze, Royce, and then hopefully that will allow us to form an alliance, which it has, which is perfect. And we'll hopefully get more than the money that we just spent to send that gift back by the dowry. Hopefully. Quick sip of my tea. May you live in harmony and contentment. I've decided to accept the suggestion of a betrothal between Janos and Joy, and Aurain Waters and Qyburn have arrived at our court. Which is good. That gives us some much better people here. Right, so if we go on intrigue now, yes, we've got Qyburn and his very impressive 22 intrigue, so that's going to help us out massively once we start plotting. If we just get you to scheme for now in Harrenhal, just to cover our backs. Master at Arms, we of course do have Aurain Waters, who's pretty decent with his 21 martial, but I think Lincorbria will probably be better when he does arrive, so we'll probably wait for a moment. Morris Slynt and Ysilla Royce have got him married, and it is customary for a dowry to be paid to the groom's heir. Yes, it's in everyone's concern. I don't think we'll be able to get an alliance with Tywin through the way... Oh, apparently we can, and yes we can, perfect. Form an alliance with Tywin Lannister, what more could you ask for? You want to stay in Tywin's goods books. Hopefully Joffrey will win this war. My lord, your Lord Jon has sent you the customary amount, 50 gold. That's fine. It's more than what we had to pay out, so that works perfectly in our favour. Crush this small Tully host, and here comes Lyn Corbry and Sir Clifford Swan, giving us two decent commanders. And yeah, Lyn Corbry is better, formidable fighter. Right, so that gives us our better marshal now in Lyn Corbry. We can get him to just train the troops in Harrenhal for now. And it was a treasurer, wasn't it? Our other one, yes, Clifford Swan. Collect taxes, much better. We really need to get a new diplomat though, don't we? We don't have a very good diplomat at all. Let's have a look at our treasurer, Lord Swan. Let's find you a match, get you a bride. We can maybe have a House Swan of the Riverlands if we become that powerful. Let's see what we've got. We've got a random reach woman here. Let's go for her. And then we had Lyn Corbry, who of course is suggested to be gay. I don't know if he's bisexual or just homosexual, but I know he has the homosexual trait and he's apparently does like boys. But let's see if we can get our own branch of House Corbry down here. And he does have the sword, more importantly, which is awesome. Alysanne Blackwood. How old are you, Lyn Corbry? 35. I'm hoping that we get to see more of Lyn Corbry in The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. He's got a Valyrian steel sword. Surely he's going to play some important part. Barbara Baratheon. There we go. Perfect. That means we can now do our minor titles. Our designated regent. We're, of course, going to go for our son. Our bodyguards. Let's have a look what we've got. Lyn Corbry. Wow, what a bodyguard to have. Aurain Waters. Do we have anyone else decent? We've got a skilled fighter, Cleos here. So Cleos. Tion, courtier in Harrenhal. So another skilled fighter. We've got two trained fighters here. One's humble, temperate, and lustful. We'll go for him. Master of the Horse. Let's go for our son. Master of the Hunt. Who actually has a decent opinion of us? Anybody? Master of the Hunt. Let's go for Qyburn. I think he'd be good for that. High Almoner. We'll go for the ones who are actually our vassals. Cupbearer. We'll go for our Maester. Surely you can trust your Maester. He's also going to... Oh, he can't be our tutor. He can't be both. So we are going to need a new cupbearer then. Our Our son doesn't appear to be on there. Well, Lynn Corbury's our bodyguard. I might just leave Cupbearer out for now until we've got someone we can trust. We'll go for our Maester as our court tutor. Our commanders, we're going to have much better commanders now. We've got Aurain Waters. And who was that guy? Oberyn, courtier in Harrenhal. A random Roynish guy who's a siege leader, a flanker, and a heavy... Well, yeah, we'll make use of you. Master Aegon of Upstream, you're nothing really impressive, are you, to be honest? But we haven't really got anyone much better, to be honest, so we'll stick with who we've got for now. Right, so we just need, really, a diplomat. We really do need to find ourselves a better diplomat. So who is the best diplomat that we can get? Varys, of course, but we're not going to go for Varys. There's got to be a decent diplomat of a noble house somewhere. I'd like to get someone from a noble house. We could just go for a random courtier, of course, but it's nice to get some of these houses involved that maybe don't get the limelight as much. There's got to be somebody who'd be willing to join our court of a noble house with half-decent diplomacy. It appears that there's not, apparently. There's literally, like, nobody. So the best one I can find, not of noble birth, is Sir Quincy, the Master-at-Arms of Shoreham. Why is he the Master-at-Arms when he's got 19 diplomacy? And there's also Manfred here of Fairmarket, charismatic negotiator, Graham Iston. So you're slightly better. Let's send you a gift and invite you to court. There we go. And you can be our new Master of Laws. So there we go. Let's unpause and see what's happening. We're crushing this army here. Blessed on you and your house. I accept your suggestion that Joffrey and Walder get married. Can we not form an alliance with you? So who is Walder the Fair to you? She is... So her father is Sir Walton Frey, whose father is Sir Stephen Frey. So she's of the heirs line, which is interesting, but not enough for us to get... Oh, an alliance with Walder, unfortunately. That's fine. That's fine. Peace with you. I, Lord Paramount Tywin of the Westlands, accept your proposal for an alliance. Perfect. At least we have got Tywin on our side. The Vale are not getting involved as usual, which is fine. We'll siege Butterwell down. Wow, Butterwell's impressively defended. Let's attack this other small Tully host instead. I know it's not a massive host, but we can get a bit of war score and do some damage. And we have got the Royces now backing us as well. And we can probably march up and attack this other Tully host as well. Wow, 6,000 there from Riverrun, which could be dangerous. And perfect. Sir Quincy has now arrived at our court, as well as some of those other marriages that we arranged. Let's get a marriage for you then. Just this random woman will do. Let's appoint our new... Oh, wow. Wow. We didn't need to invite Quincy after all. We've got this random Roynish guy already in our court, Lewin, with 22 diplomacy. Let's go for him. No idea who the hell you are. Let's find you a marriage because you've got the genius trait, so that could be good. Just a randomer will do. And let's get you to start fabricating some claims. A claim on Butterwell, please. Let's span around the God's Eye first as we look to expand some very decent High Lordships here. 2 High Lordships, I believe. I believe Harroway's Town is part of it as well, which is awesome. Who have we got leading this army now? Moros, Aurain, and Oberyn. Let's go for that. And the other host isn't going to matter too much because they're going to get together soon anyway. And Master Gilbert of Foreign Cross, may you live in harmony contentment. I accept your suggestion that Sir Quincy and Verena get married. Okay. So at least we've got some favours, which is good. And the Battle of Shoreham was a success. We've got our main host together here now, 6,000 men, which is a decent amount. To the glorious Lord Janos, may you live in harmony and contentment. I accept your suggestion that Lewin and Coraine get married. Right. What damage can we do with this host? Let's march on to King's Landing. Hopefully Joffrey's going to get his forces there. Not sure what Tywin's doing with his forces right now. Harrenhal's massively under siege, which means I'm going to drop Oberyn from this and let Janos actually lead this host just so that he can't get imprisoned. I don't really want to go back and attack that because the Stark army's probably close. And, oh, the Freys have dropped out independent. Does that mean that Rob has married... Oh, Queen Daisy Mormont of the North. Interesting. So he's not married a Frey at all. That's an interesting turn of events, though. That does get the Freys independent. We still can't form an alliance with them, but that's good. It weakens Robb Stark. Weakens him greatly. A lot of manpower. I'm guessing he's losing at least 6,000 at the most men from the Twins. A lot of manpower, I would imagine. 5,000. I thought it'd be about 5. Right, so let's go and crush Stannis' small host here. It pains me to say that. Never like going against the one true king, but there's not much that we can do there, unfortunately. We are losing heavily to Renly, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Hopefully Tywin can pull something out the bag in true Tywin fashion to change things. King Joffery of the Iron Throne has created the High Lordship of Blackwater Rush. Stannis is, of course, attacking Renly as well, so that could sway things. How much manpower does Joffrey have? 44,000, wow. And then Tywin has 41,000. So with that, combined 80,000 men. The Reach, of course, is fighting on Renly's side, though, which is bad. He's got 32,000 men. God, I dread to think how much man. 55 for Mace. So we've got as much as the Reach and the Stormlands combined, which isn't too bad. Stannis has 5,000 men. So, yeah, he's not going to be too much trouble. What about the Riverlands? 27,000, and the North has 50,000. Wow. Okay. Vale obviously is playing no part at the minute, but only has 16,000 anyway. And the Iron Islands are actually behaving at the moment, which is also interesting to say the least. They're not actually getting involved, and we're going to crush this Stannis host, which is good. Causes some damage. It relieves King's Landing of siege. We could go after the Brotherhood without banners. That would be an easy victory. We'd win that war for Joffrey, and we wouldn't really take much damage or losses by doing so. So let's do that. Let's march and attack the Brotherhood without banners and see if we can gain some favour with the King. Wow, and there's now a huge force of almost 20,000 men sieging Harrenhal, which is not good. At least Harrenhal, of course, is ridiculously fort level 17. That's absolutely insane. So that it is going to keep them busy for quite some time, you would imagine. We've got our 6,900, 23,000 men here now, 3,000 here. So Joffrey's got a decent host, but a Tyrell fleet has just docked in King's Landing. Another 10,000 Tyrell here, 9,000 Renly forces here, a small Stannis host led by Stannis himself, which is probably going to get into a fight with that Renly army. Yeah, let's... Okay, and they have left the siege of Riverrun. We could actually go back there. Not Riverrun, sorry, Harrenhal. We could actually go back there and probably cause some damage, actually. We could go for a plot to try and kill some of these people who are becoming dangerous. We could, like, try to plot to kill, say, Renly or Robb Stark or someone who is causing trouble for Joffrey. And Joffrey's host has crushed that Tyrell host, which is good. Let's end this. Let's end this Brotherhood without banners. It's one less thing for King Joffrey to worry about. We can hopefully gain some renown, and we're going to crush a small Stark host led by Lady Mage here as well, which is good. Perfect. Joffrey's host managed to repel that. No idea where Tywin is yet. Hopefully that Riverland host is being kept busy by Tywin in the west. But we are minus 20 against the Stark force now, which is not good. There we go, perfect. Now let's see if we can take down Beric Dondarrion and his rebels and help out Joffrey in that way, do what we can to help out. King Joffrey of the Iron Throne has inherited Kingdom of the Stormlands and other titles from Lord Paramount Renly of the Stormlands. Renly was slain by a dark shadow on the orders of Prince Stannis of Dragon. Okay, that's interesting, because normally you never... Well, not in any of my playthroughs, unless you actually play as Stannis in that bookmark. I never actually see that happen, so that is interesting. So Joffrey has inherited it, which is strange. I thought Stannis would have inherited it, so that's strange. It helps our cause. Helps our cause massively, because now Joffrey has got a huge amount of manpower from there. And hopefully he'll be able to get the Reach on his side. I wonder if he could break his betrothal. Marry Marjorie. She's widowed at the moment. I wouldn't have thought it would have affected her that much. But that could work massively in our favour now for this war. And our rise as House Slynt. We want everything to go. We want everything to go how it does in the books, really, at this point. We want Joffrey and Tyrion to win it. I feel filthy saying that, but it's what we need. It's what we want. So it looks like we didn't have to plot against killing Renly anyway, because it was no hassle. Stannis has done the job for us. Thank you, Uncle Stannis. Right. Yeah, we're going to crush the Brotherhood here. Take care of that small annoyance. Great victory. Didn't manage to capture him, unfortunately, but at least we did some damage. Let's have a look. Right, so we've got no threat from the south now, which is good. Harrenhal is no longer under siege. I don't want to waste our manpower. We want to preserve it. We want to be smart about this. We don't want to weaken ourselves. We want to go all Roose Bolton about this and help the king. It look like we're being incredibly loyal, whilst keeping our own strength intact. We could go for Stannis. We could go now and attack Stannis for the king, because we've got less chance of losing manpower by doing that. To all subjects of King Joffery, the inheritance of the High Lordship of Rosby has been thrown into question after the untimely death of Lord Giles Rosby. He left no clear heir, and so I hereby name Tanda Stokeworth as his lawful heir. Now that is interesting. That's made Lady Stokeworth incredibly powerful. Is Lollis unmarried? Lollis is married to a 14-year-old Birch, and Felice Stokeworth is already married but with no children. So I feel like we should try and do something there. If we could get in there, we could inherit a lot of power from that. It's interesting to see the Stokeworths. We could try and get a marriage with Lollis or something. Go the whole Bronn route to try and inherit those lands. That could work for us massively. But I've just realised that we've been going for quite some time in this first episode, guys. So, whoa. Lord Janos, I regret to inform you that I've decided to remove you from your position on the council. While you have ably served in your position, I have deemed another person more suitable to sit in your place. This is displeasing, my king. Who have you replaced us with? The Liege's council. Advisor. Edwin Estamont. And Raynar of House Cressy. Well, that is a shame. We're meant to be your close friend, Lord Janos Slynt. Hopefully you'll give us the Riverlands instead. But yes, as I was going to say before that, we will end the first episode here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching the first episode of the Janos Slynt series. I hope that you've enjoyed as much as I have. Hopefully this should be a very fun series, so make sure to stay tuned. Don't forget to like and leave a comment down below. And if you are new here, finding the channel for the first time through this series, please don't forget to check out the Discord community. We'd love to have more of you in that community. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new. And hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode.